The Hawk Tuah lady files for additional trademarks, but is it too little too late? I'm not sure. We'll get off into it here. For those of you who don't know, I am Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents to copyrights to trade secrets, and in this case, trademarks. Now, we're going to take a look at this TMZ article here that talks about the Hawk Tuah girl still trademarking on that thing. So she's still filing some trademarks. If you guys don't know, I did a previous video that talked about how she was trademarking Hawk Tuah for entertainment as well as some merchandise, some clothing, and kind of we broke down everything. We took a look at the trademarks. The crazy thing about this, which I said in the last video, I've never seen a viral moment that has led to so much trademarking. Again, not only her, but it was a ton of people, and I guess unfortunately for her, it was a ton of people that actually filed for trademarks surrounding Hawk Tuah, from everything from clothing to barbecue sauces, which we'll talk about here today. They trademarked it as it relates to medication or non-medication, things that you're ingesting that isn't like, say, barbecue sauce and things like that. Man, they kind of trademarked this thing up the wazoo for the term Hawk Tuah. So I've never seen anything like this as an intellectual property attorney, where a viral moment and then everybody rushes to the USPTO. Now, the thing with the USPTO that everybody should know, it's a first to file system. So to the extent that you are the first to file your trademark application and it gets allowed, you're going to have rights to it. If somebody else comes and try to file on something that's the same thing or similar, then they're probably not going to be able to get rights on it. Now, obviously, you have common law rights, which means that you didn't file on it, but you're using it beforehand. Yeah, you have that, but again, that's limited to the areas and the use that how you are using it. Just because you are using it, in other words, in Michigan, selling clothes with Hawk Tuah in Michigan, that doesn't give you rights to be able to sell those clothes in California or New York or Ohio or Florida. You have to actually use those, I guess, use the thing in those states to be able to get common law protection on it. However, once you file this thing with the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, that automatically grants you nationwide protection. So it is very important. Hear me out. It's very important to file for the things that you want trademark. File a trademark application on the things, whether it's a logo or a word or a phrase that you're trying to trademark. I kind of going back, I said something about confuse or similar. The whole trademark standard is likelihood of confusion. What does that mean? That means that if something is not just similar, but confusingly similar, then number one, you're probably going to get sued for trademark infringement if you're kind of dealing within the same class or category. But number two, to the extent that you're trying to file a trademark, you're probably not going to get that trademark allowed if something else that was filed before your trademark was filed and is yours to be looked at as confusingly similar. So it's very important to understand what it is that you're filing, understand what's out there, and your chances at granting success or your chances of getting sued. You need to know all these things, and you're at the right place to find out that. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as we get off into it. To get into this article. Let's pull it up really quick. Let's pull this article. So this is again from TMZ. Hawk Tuah girl still trademarking on that thing. Is it all for nothing though? Again, I said, is it too little too late? Seems like she's filing a couple more trademark applications on some different classes. We know that she tried to file a trademark for Hawk Tuah on clothing entertainment. I talked about how the entertainment, the podcast, things like that, she's probably going to get it allowed. However, with the clothing, maybe not. So it's tough because you have some other people who have filed essentially the same trademark application, but they filed it before the Hawk Tuah girl. So again, like I said, first come, first serve, first to file, whoever files first, this other company filed first, or this other person filed first on Hawk Tuah. So she probably doesn't get that allowed if I'm just kind of putting my, if I'm kind of giving you my opinion on it. But again, it seems like she's filing more stuff. It's what, barbecue sauce, bedding, and more. Let's take a look at it. This came out July 30th, so a few days ago. What they say, you got to hand it to Haley Witt. So that's her name, Haley. We probably should call her Haley as opposed to the Hawk Tuah girl, but I guess the Hawk Tuah girl maybe has a ring to it. The internet's Hawk Tuah girl keeps spitting up new ideas to build up a merchandise empire, attracting her catchphrase to all sorts of products. in services. According to new trademark filings filed by Haley's company is named 16 Minutes, which we'll see here in a second as we look at the trademarks, and obtained by TMZ. The budding entrepreneurs eyeing a couple of new business ventures, including sports betting, which she notably dubbed "Bet on That Thing." So it seems like she's trying to trademark the term "bet on that thing." I actually like that. I think that has a ring to it. You guys have to let me know if you guys like that in the comment section. But I think "bet on that thing" has a ring to it. Crazy that she's holding this snake here. Hawk Tuah 24, spit on that thing. Man, that's crazy. This is crazy. So let's go down. It appears the betting service will also extend to other types of entertainment services and casino gaming. Haley hasn't really shown herself to be much of a gambler based on the social media, but she'd be wise to get some skin in the game, waging her in the industry. Additionally, it looked like Haley is getting into the food game, specifically barbecue sauce. You gotta, if you're gonna have any type of sauce, you gotta have some couple staples. You gotta have a barbecue sauce. You gotta have a hot sauce. Now even throw honey mustard, man. You dealing with some tenders, some chicken. I would love some honey mustard. So, but definitely the barbecue sauce, a hot sauce. If you're gonna get off into the sauce game, those are staples that you have to have in your collection. Seems like she's doing some other type of cooking sauces, all under the name Hot Tuah and Hot Tuah Sauce. I think this is an interview that kind of set the internet ablaze. Haley also filed for some more obvious trademarks for products involving spitting. Come on, who wouldn't load up on Hawk Tuah mouth? Okay, so it seems like she's filing some trademarks on mouthwash, sunflower seeds, and bubble gum with the name Hawk Tuah. That actually is pretty catchy. As we previously reported, Haley filed a trademark for Hawk Tuah to capitalize on merchant and entertainment service under that name. We talked about that. I think the entertainment services, I think she's probably going to get that trademark, the merch. I don't think she's going to get that. But let's continue to read on here. Haley, who worked in a spring factory, so she worked at a factory. Just think about that. You're working at a factory. Hey, look, you're going to work every day, working at a factory. You probably hate your job, if I'm being honest. Next thing you know, like every Friday or Saturday, you're probably going out, night out of town, having a good time, probably getting, feeling good, just say. And next thing you know, somebody's doing an interview on the street. You get the mic in your hand and your world changes. Millions of people know you. Articles are being written about you. You're filing trademark applications. It can happen like that. Life can change like that. And you got to be ready. You have to be ready. Was she ready? I'm not sure. Because again, this all happened, in June of this year, maybe late May, and her trademarks, she didn't file until July. So some may say she was a month, 2 to 4 weeks late on filing her trademarks because other people beat her to the punch, as we'll see here. So you got to be ready to take advantage of your shot. Eminem say on that, lose yourself, lose control, something like that. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Did she miss her chance? I'm not sure. We'll take a look at it. But let's finish off this article here. Has proven to be a keen business, landing a merch deal with the brand Fathead. So it seems like she got a merch deal with Fathead's Threads right after her video blew up. So again, that's what I'm saying. You working at a factory one day, probably not liking your life. Next thing you know, you are being millions of people know you across the country, and you're getting brand deals left and right, filing trademark applications, having IP. Life can change quick. It's good to see Haley's being proactive too, because several other people or companies are trying to capitalize on her iconic words. She's definitely being proactive. Is it too little, too late? That is the big question. In the last sentence, one thing's for sure: Hawk Tuah girl ain't going down without a fight. In the merch biz, that is. Yeah, again, she's definitely filing trademarks. Let's take a look at this thing really quickly. I'm not sure if she's going to be successful at least as it relates to some of this stuff. So let me pull it up here. We're going to go through it. We are going to go through it. So this is Hawk Tuah. So I just typed in, this is the test database. So if you go to Google and type in TESS, that's the test database. That's where all the trademarks that are registered, you see up here to the left, are registered, pending, as well as some dead marks. I clicked off the dead marks so we don't get those in our search. But you can also search the marks that have been canceled or abandoned. But in this case, we're looking at the live marks, registered or pending. You can see here. Let me try to do this here so we can get more on the screen. So you can see here's a ton of people. Again, like I said, her company, Haley's company, the Hawk Tuah Girls company, name is 16 Minutes, I think LLC. And in this case that she talked about, that the website talked about, TMZ talked about, that she's filing her new trademark applications in sauces, barbecue sauce or sauces, as well as gaming, casino, betting, waging, that type of a thing. Let's see if she's going to be able to get the trademarks in these categories. And I want you to know, before I give you my take as a 10-year intellectual property attorney, I want you to know, I want you to let me know in the comments what you think. But let's look at the trademark database and see what is being trademarked. So you got a ton of Hawk Tuah applications that I talked about. Again, this is for printed products, featuring t-shirts, keychains, things of that sort. We don't necessarily care about stick markers. Again, just these two. These are both in the same class 16. And they're both by two different people. One is Mervin, one is Storm. So again, you can tell a lot of people trademark these things. Hawk Tuah Nation, and these is hats. Richard O'Reilly, he's probably going to be the one that get Richard O'Reilly. Now, he was the savvy one. He saw this thing and immediately started filing trademarks. I'm not sure if Richard O'Reilly, I would imagine that they're not associated with the Hawk Tuah girl, but he definitely he definitely saw a business opportunity when he sees one. Look at Hawk Tuah Nation for hats, clothing class 25, which Haley also tried to file a trademark in. She probably don't get it because Richard O'Reilly filed his trademark application for Hawk Tuah and Hawk Tuah Nation in that clothing category back in June, and Haley didn't file until July. So unless a deal is reached, I don't think that Haley's going to be able to get it, but that's just kind of my opinion. Again, you see Hawk Tuah beverages and the energy drinks containing bitter orange. And so again, Richard O'Reilly, who filed a ton of trademarks. You see him again. Body lubricants, teeth cleaning, lotions, teeth whitening kit, sauces. Again, this is the big thing. So you have Hawk Tuah sauces and condiments. We just saw that the Hawk Tuah girl, Haley, she came out with a new barbecue sauce, coming out with a new hot sauce. It looks like Richard O'Reilly, which you guys are not going to see my screen, but if I click on this was filed in June of 21. And it seems like Haley just filed her trademark for Hawk Tuah in this sauce category in July. So in my opinion, it's looking a little shaky for Haley in light of Richard O'Reilly's trademark Hawk Tuah sauces and condiments. I think Hawk Tuah, I think it's going to be a likelihood of confusion with Haley's trademark application for Hawk Tuah. So even though she's kind of the inventor of the name, so to speak, she was not the first to file, which I talked about beforehand at the beginning of this video, that you have to be the first to file. Look, you got some personal adult lubricants here. Again, they getting off into everything. Non-medicated mouthwash and gargle. So this 16 Minutes, this is Haley's company. 16 Minutes LLC. She's from Tennessee here. We read an article that she's doing it for sunflower seeds, mouthwash, stuff like that. So it seems like she may be good in this category. Look at Mad Dog Products, got in the candies. David Whitman. Again, this is a ton of people. A ton of people. I want to see. Okay, here we go. That's sure. So she's not going to get that trademark application. I can guarantee you that. But again, here's her, which we saw, class 41. We read in the article. She's also sports betting services. So Hawk Tuah for sports betting services. Again, you guys have to let me know what you guys think. Entertainment services. We talked about that on the last video. She had the Hawk Tuah sauce. I think the Hawk Tuah sauce, I think, is going to be a likelihood of confusion with your boy David or Richard O'Reilly Hawk Tuah sauces and condiments. So again, in my opinion, I think it's going to be tough for her to get Hawk Tuah sauce in light of Richard O'Reilly's. But again, that's just kind of my take on it based on him being the first to file. Like I said, your boy Richard O'Reilly was getting after it, man. Tobacco products, happy hour, cleaning supplies. He was on it, man. A lot of these is from his company. So what do you guys think? I think, as I just pointed out, it's going to be tough for her to get it for the sauces, just because you have your boy Richard O'Reilly, who filed before her for Hawk Tuah sauces and condiments. And I do think that's going to be, in my opinion, a likelihood of confusion. But I guess two reasonable minds can differ. We'll see what the examiner says about it at the USPTO. As it relates to betting, gaming services, I think she's going to get that. So far, this is not all for nothing for us. I think she's going to get it in entertainment services. I think she's going to get it probably in the mouthwash and sunflower seeds. And I think she's going to get it in the gaming services. Maybe not for clothing, maybe not for the sauces, but again, she's still going to be able to capitalize off her I don't know, call it a misfortune. I think off her fortune at this point. And again, as I talked about earlier, your life can change. Just be ready for it. Be prepared. Be informed. Because if she would have waited maybe another month or two, somebody probably would have did it in the gaming services and the sunflower seeds, mouthwash, entertainment services, and therefore she would have been completely left in the dark. But at least she had the wherewithal, even though if it was a little late, because if I see it, I probably would have did it ASAP. And all these and a lot of different categories that I think I would have been able to go after. Obviously, it's a cost associated with this, so you got to have the money. However, I think she's not going to be able to get this Hawk Tuah, that trademark in the class, all the classes that she want. However, she would be able to get it in some of the classes. Let this be a learning lesson. If you see an opportunity, you better jump on it because somebody else will jump on it. Hawk Tuah, hey, Haley, hit me up. Let's get you on the podcast. Let's talk about this IP. Let's talk about the IP. That's my lane, intellectual property. And it seems like you are getting off into the game yourself. Audience, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comment section. Did you enjoy this video? What do you think about her capitalizing off the misfortune? What do you think about others trying to capitalize off the misfortune? I am interested in hearing from you guys as well. Until next time, peace.